goodness, we have all these technical issues this week. I think it has to do with the change that Facebook made recently. And so we are working our way through that. We're working our way through those changes right now, ladies and gentlemen. And we're trying to set up the stream like we normally do. So hello, everybody out there. Hope you're doing well. We had a crazy week this week. And if you haven't seen it already, Dirk and I broadcast last Friday. We had, when the news came out that Norwegian Cruise Line was suspending all cruise debarkations through April 11th and resuming April 12th. And yes, the Bliss is just hanging out in New York City Harbor. It actually was heading out. It was just heading out, and I was watching the bridge cam. This is the bridge cam now. You really can't see anything. Oh, here we go. So, yeah, the Bliss was heading out towards the Verrazano Bridge outside of New York City Harbor. And this is actually, I could probably, I am not far. I could probably walk down and watch it right now. But the Bliss is just now turning around. I don't know where it's going. We could watch it as we broadcast, but I don't know where it's going. You could see it's obviously turned around, even though it was just heading out. Maybe it's going to the Port of Bayonne. You see that, Dirk?
Yeah, I think so. What happened with some other Norwegian ships, I think about 2 or 3 of them went to Jacksonville because, they're running out of dock spaces in most of the major harbors.
Yeah.
And like L.A., even so it's in the area of the port, it's right behind the USS Iowa, which is not part of the regular passenger terminals. So I guess they're trying to find space wherever they can. And
yeah, a lot of them
have to clear out too, because I'm sure that the other ships coming into New York, so they got to clear I'm just guessing here. So they got to clear the dock area so other ships can come in. There's still some Norwegian ships, 2 or 3, that are anchored. So I guess trying to make up where they can find space.
Yeah,
they departed their passengers, but they are anchored just minus passengers.
I tell you what, I am in shock. I'm still in shock, but also grateful that there's a tremendous effort to stop the spread of this virus in all areas of industry, and I'm worried. I have to say, Dirk, I'm a little concerned because this thing started out as a distant problem and it rapidly started spreading in the United States, across the globe, and it has hit home here in the United States, and it's a little unnerving. Everybody tries to reassure you, it's that the young people it doesn't affect, and the risk of serious illness increases with age. So, but that doesn't help me. I'm still concerned. I'm concerned for all my older adult friends. I'm concerned for my parents and of course our neighbors and the community. It's just been unbelievable.
Hey,
it's
Chuck,
been unbelievable frightening. Yeah.
Mark just said that he's going to dock at the old naval station in Staten Island.
Oh, is that where it's headed?
That's what Mark is saying.
Yeah, destination
You're talking
New
about
York.
being concerned. It also creates problems like the airline industry, for example. I saw some clips from yesterday in Chicago. They weren't ready. They didn't have enough staff, et cetera. So they had thousands of people up to 5 to 6 hours, and they were in long lines. They were perched into small rooms. Here they're trying to keep people socially apart by 6 feet, and you got thousands of people on top of each other. So, bringing them back from Europe, didn't help any. You want to get more people. Once they going to do this testing and get the results back, I think these numbers going to explode like crazy, and then I think it really going to hit home even more.
Yeah, I think what's making it even worse, what's making it bad, is the uncertainty, the quarantine, everything else that's happening. It's just unbelievable. So hello everybody out there. This is Charles and Dirk. We are broadcasting live our Cruise Mojo show to the Norwegian Cruise Line Latitudes members page, your Cruise Mojo page, and also to YouTube. And this will later be a podcast available on all major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts. We have some familiar people here. Hello, guys. Andrea, how you doing, Andrea? Brunilda, Mark Senior, what's up, folks? Yeah, they're closing all restaurant and bars. They're closing by 10 p.m. And Mark, those restaurants and bars in New York City are mandated to operate at 50% capacity. So they're making all these restaurants and bars limit the number of people that they have. Let's say they have a capacity of 100 people. And that's all in New York City, dictated by the fire department. It's evaluated and quantified by the fire department. If you have more than if your capacity is 100 and you have more than 50, it's going to be a big problem. Yeah. And yes, the New York City schools just shut down through April 20th, ladies and gentlemen. Classes resume on April 20th. Right now, that's what they're doing. And who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. That's going to be something to see. So we'll have to find out and let this play out. But it's been an extraordinarily crazy week. And what makes it even more crazy is that, Dirk, you and I started off kind of downplaying this whole thing. Like we didn't know. We didn't know what impact it was going to be, what lied ahead. We didn't know what was happening.
I don't think we
downplayed
it, Charles. I don't think we downplayed it. We just didn't play it up.
Right, yeah, that good point. We didn't play it up. We were waiting to see what happened, and we talked about the Diamond Princess. We dedicated almost the whole show to Diamond Princess, and so this is crazy. I'm just reading the comments, folks. Brunilda, schools have been closed since last week now, 3 more weeks. Restaurants are only allowed to take out and delivery. No gatherings of 25 people or more in church. Where I am, I'm happy to be Roman Catholic, but many of the other places of worship in my area have closed down completely. They've just closed. They've canceled services. So that's happening. I'm reading some of the comments. Karen's here. Hey, Karen. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Andrew's here. What's up, Andrea? Illinois. All casinos in Illinois are closing tonight. All restaurants. No dining in. No dining in. Carryout or delivery only. Schools closed 2 weeks. That's in Illinois. I'm so sad. Here's another comment from a listener. I'm so sad that many of the staff may not be able to get home and now will have limited income. You know what? I think, I know that there are some circumstances where large companies, including possibly the cruise lines, they'll probably, and I haven't seen any official word on it, but they're probably going to pay the staff as they normally got paid if they want to keep them. They need people to run their industry when all this happens, when everything hopefully gets back to normal. They're not going to want to lose staff members. So,
plus the service fee you pay, part of that money goes into a staff fund. Money that's not paid to the crew, go into a staff fund, and if anything, anything but they can use money out of that fund.
I hope so. We haven't got any official word. I'm sure we're going to be hearing these things come out in the near future, one way or another. There's a lot of whistleblowers. There's a lot of blogs. There's a lot of cruise news and information websites, and they always manage to get the scoop, first or second hand, directly from the workers or otherwise. And I'm sure over the next few weeks that's going to become abundantly clear. And I'm sure we're going to know this week what's happening. All of these staff members are at sea, and they're probably out sanitizing. I don't think they can go home. Maybe the cruise line's offering them to go home and giving them time off now, anticipating their contract will resume when sailings resume. Maybe they'll give them some time off. I think that would be probably the most wise thing to do. A lot of these folks are on limited time contracts, and they're probably being offered to go home. Unless they need to be quarantined. I don't
Well,
know if all ships are quarantined, if they're quarantining all the staff members. I don't know what they're
well,
doing.
Karen just said that the staff staying on the ships are being paid. The only ones that won't be paid are the ones that fly home.
Yeah, that's good news. That's good news. Oh, I'm looking at you looking at the comment. I couldn't see that bottom comment.
Yeah, I know that Karen was on the on a cruise, got off in Miami.
A lot of people were posting today they had gotten off. A lot of disgruntled passengers that felt abandoned by Norwegian. I don't know if you saw some of those posts. Dirk, there's two sides for every story. It's funny because Norwegian kind of said that they were going. Look, now the Encore turned around again. Oh no, that's the Bliss. I'm sorry. No, I was incorrect. I thought it had flipped around and is heading. Is it? I'll take a look at their bridge cam in just a minute. But all the cruise
It's
ships.
turning.
Yeah, it's kind of flipping around. I don't know. We got to check the cam. The bridge cam went dead. Uh,
It's turning around.
is it? Can you see the bridge cam?
No, no, on the that's one you got on now.
Is this Encore? Did I say Encore?
Yeah, I think you did. It's a Bliss, isn't it?
Oh, Bliss. I get those two for some reason. I get confused. And a lot of the ships are just most of them are at sea. I'll show you in a minute on the map.
What I misunderstood, Charles, is they. I thought that they're going to get to the closest port and stay there, but the way I understand now is that they will finish their itineraries and then stop in the U.S.
Really? Well, this
mean,
weekend, I'm sure. Most of the cruise ships embark and disembark on Saturdays and Sundays. Today's Sunday. It's the Sunday after the announcement, so you would think there'd be some permanence as to where they'll be. This is what the location of all the ships now. Most of them are docked, and when they're round circles like this, it means they're docked. So we got. Let's look at the L.A. And L.A. is the Joy, and it's docked. It's not going anywhere.
Look at Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville. Let's see who's there. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Jacksonville, the Sky. And it's docked.
They said there are going to be 3 ships in Jacksonville.
There might be more. Norwegian ships?
Yeah.
Oh, right now just the Sky is there. I mean, I could show you all the ships. You want to see all the ships?
Well, they're not even. Jacksonville is not even a port. I mean, a scheduled port for Norwegian. So they're
really?
just parking it. They're just parking it there.
So we got. Look at all the. Now they're all anchored. I mean, except for very few. Well, not anchored. They are more. They are docked.
Yeah, Karen
These are
just
all at
confirmed.
dock.
Karen just confirmed that there will be 3 NCL ships in Jacksonville.
Wow, this is gonna be amazing
The
to see.
the Pearl is going to Jacksonville.
You got the Getaways in New Orleans, Dirk.
Well, it's going to stay there.
That'll stay there. What else we got?
Well,
Who's
there
in
are
Tampa?
there are 2 dock spaces in New Orleans. The Carnival has 2 ships in New Orleans. They're only going to dock one in New Orleans, and the other one is going to, I believe, is going to. What the heck did I read today? Where it's going? But it's not staying in. So there are only going to be 2 ships in New Orleans, which is going to be one Norwegian, the Getaway, and the Norwegian, the larger one.
Oh. The Encore is in Miami, right by the Scarlet Lady. It looks like, I think it may be 2 ships. No, the Scarlet Lady is kind of somehow interfering here. Scarlet Lady, the Encore. There's one that's at sea. The Pearl, is going to Jacksonville. So the Pearl, like you just mentioned, is on its way to Jacksonville. The Sun is going to Port Canaveral. The Breakaway is already in Port Canaveral. And we got all the other ships. Some of the other ships. These are Norwegian Epic. I don't know what VICHA is. It looks like Puerto Rico, possibly. This is going to the Epic's going to Puerto Rico, and the Gem is coming back to New York. It looks like it just left. Anguilla. So crazy times. We're living in crazy times, ladies and gentlemen. And there's other ships around. The Star is going to the Panama Canal. That's probably going maybe to Jacksonville. And we have others around the globe also. These ships, unprecedented. Unprecedented. Um, I'd like to figure out how to look at all these cruise ships. I'm gonna add some layers.
Well,
And
Charles, let me
yeah,
ask you this. Didn't you understand this correctly too? If, let's say, the cruise was scheduled to finish the cruise in Singapore, that's where the ship will stay, right?
I don't know. No, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that they're going to figure out the logistics as they go along. The Bliss looks like it anchored. The Bliss is actually anchored in the Narrows. Wow. There's a mooring there. I see some ships here occasionally, usually oil tankers, because it's going point 0.1 knots, and it's probably we see it turning around because the wind and the current is turning it around.
Yeah, they
Wow.
always move, don't they, when they anchored?
Yeah, so this looks like it's moored. I'm gonna take some pictures of that tomorrow when I get home. Maybe early in the morning I'll go out too. Crazy stuff, unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this. Now I got everything on here. But Dirk, you have anything? I think there's. I spent today doing work for work all day yesterday, all day today. Um, And so I didn't have a chance. In fact, I was thinking about canceling the broadcast because I really didn't even have a chance to get anything, to put anything together other than to talk about the location of the ships. We could talk about the group because the group, we're adding some moderators. I've been getting a lot of concerns. I've been getting a lot of complaints too just in the last day. I guess everybody's home. And now that they're home, they want to go onto the group and pick fights with people. Have you noticed that, Dirk?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people in the group, a lot of opinionated people really just going through it, causing a little bit of trouble in the group. So I just want to, if you're here and you're listening, I want to give some assurance to everybody that we're on top of it. We're aware of what's happening. And if you don't know, Dirk and I, in addition to doing Cruise Mojo and doing this live broadcast, we manage the Norwegian Cruise Line Latitudes members page on Facebook, which is an unofficial page. And we spend a great deal of time going through comments, screening members that apply to get into the group, and making sure that everybody has the best time they can. And many of you members, report posts that they want us to review if they believe it violates the rules, but many don't. And so what happens, you get some pretty obnoxious people. You get posts that you don't necessarily want in the group. And unless they're reported or unless Dirk and I see them, they remain sometimes for hours or maybe longer. So we're working on remediating that by getting some new moderators into the group that could help us manage the content and let members in as appropriate. We want to get the right people in, and what we're tending to do, and what we have done over the last today specifically, is get somebody who's been in the group for a very long time, and somebody who contributes to the group very consistently, somebody who's knowledgeable in cruise travel and particularly travel with Norwegian Cruise Line. So we think we did that successfully today, and I'm sure you're going to be.
Because the pay is great, isn't it, Charles?
Yeah. If you want to work for free, let us know. Maybe you could be a moderator, and if you've been a member of the group for the 3 years. So we're trying to pick long-time members, long-time Norwegian cruisers to help us with the group. So that is what we've been up to. And we are aware, but also you have to lighten up a little bit because there are people who always want to pick fight. When you're on the internet, there are people who just want to pick fights. They're called trolls. And there's an old saying with the birth of the internet. It's called the 13th rule of the internet. And do you know what that rule is, Dirk? Maybe people in chat know. Maybe people in chat. I tell you what, I'll give a round of applause to someone in chat who knows what the 13th rule of the internet is. So if you know it, let us know. And I'll wait for your response. So type that in now, folks, the 13th rule of the internet. You'll know what it is, and I'll tell you what the meaning is shortly. But Dirk, so ladies and gentlemen, I am located in New York City, and we're kind of one of the epicenters here, I guess, because of the proximity of people that are in New York, and it's been very crazy here. Hospitals, quarantine, stores running out of supplies in many cases. It's very difficult to find Purell or impossible to find Purell. For some reason, people are buying up toilet paper everywhere you go. There's limited supplies of toilet paper. There's limited supplies of bottled water. But food is okay, and you could still order food. And so I was telling the group on Friday when we started broadcasting about Norwegian Cruise Line suspending embarkations through April 11th.
Excuse
What
me.
happened?
Carrie got Rule 13. Don't piss me off.
That's true. I don't see that.
Yeah, it's just on the bottom.
The 13th rule of the internet. Somebody will find it. Maybe I froze. I think I might have froze up. Anyway.
Oh, have you?
I don't know. The last comment I seen is by Karen.
Yeah, it says, "Don't piss me off." Rule 13.
So things have been crazy, and there was a moment on Friday, and I said this on the broadcast on Friday when we were talking about Norwegian suspending embarkations through April 11th. There was a moment where I panicked for a minute, and I had to pause and calm myself down and say, "All right, look, everything's gonna be fine. You know, the world isn't ending. We got to get through this as best we can, and not lose our heads, so to speak, on this. There has to be some kind of rational thought on it." Okay, all my comments just updated. Anything you can say can and will be turned into something else. So Kirk is saying in the group, when you say something, it'll be turned into something. That's true. So the mayor of New York City just announced the schools are closing through April 20th, which will make it difficult for single parents or parents that have nobody to watch their children to get to work. It has been crazy. And it's just the beginning. I don't know why they would announce that at 5:30 on a Sunday, because that gives very little time to prepare for business on Monday. But that's what's happening here. Unprecedented, Dirk. What's going on by you?
Memphis, we are so far we are in fairly good shape as far as numbers are concerned. But again, you don't know how true these numbers are. Tennessee as a whole is still low numbers, but again, those numbers aren't very good. But I'll tell you one thing, I got some good news too.
What's that?
The new dock in Roatan is open, and all the people that were complaining about
really?
Having to use a tender can get directly on the new dock.
Oh, that's nice. Well, perfect timing for Roatan.
Yeah, Roatan is going to be...
All right, our dock is done. Oh, my God, there's no cruise ships. Roatan is a beautiful place. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time in Roatan. Where is Roatan's part of Honduras, isn't it?
Correct.
Why am I lost? Oh, here it is. Here's Honduras. I want to see if I could see anything on the map. My God, I don't know why I'm spazzing out. Here we go. Probably not.
They probably get the heck out of there.
Anyway, I can't find Roatan. I'm a spaz today.
That's Honduras. You got close.
It's close, right?
It's probably on
Google Maps.
It's probably on the water, Charles.
Maybe it's underwater. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Here's Honduras. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But good for Honduras. Good for Roatan. Roatan is one of my favorite destinations. Let me clarify that, for scuba diving. I think we spoke about this before on one of our shows, Dirk, that it's kind of almost like a third world location.
Oh, it is.
And you had mentioned that there was you had some questionable travel through Roatan.
Oh, yes.
So I'm looking at the comments. Nobody said the 13th rule of the internet. So I'm just reviewing. I'm reviewing back about the internet. When you see all these people, when you have all these people in a group like we do on the Norwegian Cruise Line Latitudes group, over 50,000 people are in the group. You got to get some negative energy occasionally, and the people that commit the negative energy and look for something wise to say about somebody are called trolls. And what they want to do, they want to get a reaction from you. They want to get you mad. And you don't know who you're arguing with. You don't know who it is. You don't know what their situation is. And so you feel you don't want to be bested and you don't want to look silly in front of the group. And so you want to respond to the troll. And that's called feeding the troll. So the 13th rule of the internet is do not feed the troll.
All right.
And that's been around for over 20 years, folks. Do not feed the troll. And you'll see it anywhere you go if you search the internet for the 13th rule of the internet. That's what it says. Because, Dirk, what's it mean? When you feed the troll, what's it mean, Dirk?
It's going to get worse.
It means that's what they want. That means they win. So you don't feed the troll. And the way you don't feed the troll is you scroll past their comment and or report it without saying anything. Just report it, and Dirk or I or the other administrators and moderators will look at what the post is, and we will take care of it. You don't have to say anything. Just don't say anything. Just report the post, and we'll take care of it. Okay.
But Karen is right. Trolls post it, and then they run. That's absolutely right.
That's it. Right. If they get you to reply and say something, they won because that's what they want to do. They're there laughing at you. So just don't say it. Just don't.
Karen, but
just
Karen said she
ignore
was
it.
right. Karen said it right before. She said what it means is don't piss me off.
Don't piss me off. That's the way it is.
Karen,
So-
we won't delete your comment, by the way, because it could look at her. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness. So it's been crazy. Like I said, folks, I had a crazy day here. I was working for work. So I knew we had the show, and we had a show on Friday too, but I just didn't get a chance to put some content together to have a meaningful, to have a good show. So I don't have the content. So this, I knew going into this would be a very short broadcast. But I want to look to see if anybody wrote in the meantime, before we end the show, I want to see if anybody on any of the cruise ships wrote a review, recently wrote a review, because I'd like to see, I'd like to know if anyone wrote about being abandoned because they abruptly ended all their sailings wherever they were at, whatever the next port was. They ended it there. They made everybody get off the ships. And then they left wherever they left to and wherever they have to reposition the ships.
Be nice to get offloaded in Dubai.
That would be nice. It would be nice for me. It would be nice to get off anywhere in the United States. And we talked also on Friday about people who didn't bring their passports, and everybody knows about the passport conversation
Oh, gosh.
in our group, that if you didn't bring your passports, you're going to have a real problem. You're going to have a real problem getting home if you're not within the United States, if you're a United States citizen.
You know, Charles, the thing is, too, is if you only had one or two cases of people that, due to emergency, medical, et cetera, got offloaded and don't have a passport, you know, the port agent probably can deal with it, but with the circumstances we have now, can you imagine if they're like 20, 30 people, et cetera, that don't have a passport? Gosh, I tell you.
Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. The first thing I pulled up. So, Dirk, while we were talking, I just pulled up the Spirit, the Norwegian Spirit, to see where it was at. Let's look and see where the location is of the Spirit. They say in the Indian Ocean. Hold on, just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while I get organized here. The Norwegian Spirit, they're already saying they were abandoned in the Indian Ocean. Let's see where they are. It must be one of these, no? No, where the heck is it? I don't even see it on the map. Is this it? Here it is. So the Norwegian Spirit is now right east of Madagascar, and the most recent
Oh,
post, the most recent review on Cruise Critic by Mark Latch, who wrote one review in the past, and he doesn't say the specific date, but it says March 2020. It's a pretty lengthy review. Let's read what it says, Dirk, and see what happened. Currently floating. Ooh, that was loud.
marooned in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. So the title of his review of the Norwegian Spirit is "Marooned in the Middle of the Indian Ocean." Currently,
That's a long swim. That's a long swim home.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Currently floating around the Indian Ocean, a sport after in the issue a port at. I can't read that. He wrote a sport after port, but I'm sure he meant after a port cancels our ability to land. I'm sure he meant dock. The crew are not handling this at all well. God knows where and when we shall land. We were asked for a health check so as to land at the Seychelles. English must be a second language for this gentleman.
The Seychelles. The
The
Seychelles.
Seychelles. The instructions were for half the passengers to turn up at the same time to the disco. Absurd decision. Chaos ensured as queues formed haphazardly and no staff visible at all. Tempers exploded due to the lack of organization. The cruise director's overall communication is woeful, and he treats the passengers as village idiots when most of us are not.
Most of us are not.
Most
See,
of us.
at least there's some.
That's right. That's right. They refused to accept my partner's credit card because it was a shared account and had same numbers as mine. As such, I had to sign for everything. Absurd policy no one could explain. So wow, this guy's not even talking about the end of the thing. Other gripes: the coffee. He's worried about the coffee. The coffee is an international disgrace. Any non-American expects better, and the only option is overpriced Starbucks that is not included in any package. For goodness sake, hire some baristas and get some decent coffee underway. Number 2, you have to pay for water. All right, so this isn't what we're looking for. Anyway, so Mark Latch, marooned in the middle of the middle. So his headline is marooned in the middle of the Indian Ocean, but yet he's talking about coffee.
Well, he's not American anyway because he said it's a disgrace for not Americans.
He's not American, and English may be his second language. So what other ship can we look at? Let's look at this one. What's this said? What's this one say? Can't make this up! Exclamation point. And this was in December, so this doesn't apply. We're looking for people and reviews for those that may have been left in another country. So what's a good one to look at, Dirk? Let's look at South America. What's in South America? The Star. Isn't one of our members on the Star right now?
I think so, yeah.
The Norwegian Star. Poor guy. We all know who it is. I just don't want to. I don't want to say his
Chile.
name.
I think they said they're going to go to Santiago, Chile, as port.
Worst cruise ever. This again another December 19th. I guess people are being kind because these are all older reviews, unless the newer ones haven't been approved yet. Doesn't Cruise Critic let a period of time elapse before they approve one?
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah. This is Cruise Curmudgeon Goes to South America. So this is a gentleman who doesn't like cruises. This is from February. So there's nothing yet on the cancellations. But I'm going to keep an eye out for these and see if I can find any.
Our buddy is on the one that's in Chile. That went around the border.
I know. I hope he's all right. I hope he's with his spouse, right?
Yeah, he normally has a lot of postings. I haven't seen any in the last few days, except 2 days ago he posted a bunch of pictures.
I saw those pictures. Yeah, he can't be happy. Yeah, this is docked now. Norwegian Bliss is docked right in the middle of the harbor. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to see if I can get some pictures. Maybe I'll do a live stream outside one of these evenings. I'm sure it's going to be there for a little while. Dirk, do you have anything else to add? Because I think we're gonna have a short broadcast tonight. We
Oh,
got a
that's
lot of our
fine.
regulars here. Let me just go through the comments to see if I missed anything.
Any from the sun.
You want me to check the sun?
Yeah,
Did I close it?
I don't think so.
I think I closed the cruise
Oh,
cruise
you're
window.
in a different. Yeah, you're in a different. You're in a different frame.
I'll take a look, and then we'll take a look, see if the sun is see if the sun has anything.
Well, people had boarded it. The way I understand it, people had boarded it, and after about 2 hours, they told them your trip is
Oh
canceled.
yeah, I heard about that.
You know, the
Yeah,
bars
somebody
never
posted about
opened.
that. One of our members was on the
Yeah,
ship.
the bars never opened and everything else. And they told them, "Hey, sorry, we ain't going anywhere. You're getting off." After they're already on the ship.
Oh my god.
I hope they did not pack their bags.
The most recent one was from March. Okay, simply okay. Let's look at 1-star reviews. Terrible. The worst food and service ever. Freestyle equals no style. What a catchy title to a cruise review. When is this? This is January. The last 1-star review on the Sun was January. There are no
Oh, okay.
recent ones. There are recent ones, but nothing to indicate the recent changes.
Probably
The
too
recent
early. Like I
changes in
said,
the
they
cruise
check
line.
it before they check it before
Yeah,
they post it.
yeah, I'd like to see them, but I'm sure by next week we're gonna get an earful, and
Oh
we're gonna
yeah.
get the scoop on what happened to these passengers who had to get off the ships in these foreign
You know,
countries.
he said on the Sun, he said the crew wasn't very helpful. They probably found out the same time when the
I'm
announcement was
sure.
made that it was canceled.
You know, in Harry Somers' announcement, though, he said they were going to be helping guests. I wonder how true that was. And what the logistics was. I can't wait to find out what happened. And we're going to find out from our friend. Do you know who it is? I'm sure he's going to be completely honest about it. He's a big fan of the cruise line, and he's going to be truthful. And I think we're going to get an untainted perspective from him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, about his experience. But Dirk, I think we are going to end the stream because I don't have much news to share because I was, like I said, I couldn't prepare for the show tonight because I was working. But do you have anything else to add?
No, not really. I mean, you know, it's just so much stuff happening, and nobody knows what's going on. Like people say, you know, the questions we get: Are we going to sail after the date? Who knows? They may extend it. I
Who
mean,
knows? We're going to check him out. Yeah.
at this point, I think Charles, at this point, not even the the government officials know what's going on until the test results coming in because they weren't available before. Now, as they expand the tests in parking lots and everywhere else, and have the additional labs that can have a quick answer, I think then it's really going to get home because those numbers are going to explode. Like Dr. Fauci said, this thing is going to get worse before it gets better.
I think this week will be horrible. I think it's going to be a particularly difficult week, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
I think this week was going to dictate how this disease goes, what happens, and how many people are affected. So the actions that you take now are critical.
Another thing, Charles, I mean, it's not, you know, the DoorDash company, you know, where you can order food from restaurants.
Yeah.
They issued, I got an email a little earlier where they said that you can have a contact delivery when you tell them where to leave it, or even send them a picture of your front door wherever you want it, so where they just leave it.
Really?
And then sent you sent you an email. The delivery guy sent you an email saying, "I just delivered your food." Yeah, so
Wow.
you can ask for no contact delivery.
Oh, you could ask for it. Oh, it's not routine. I thought it
Yeah,
was a
no.
routine thing.
You gotta ask for no
Wow.
contact delivery.
I wouldn't mind that because those guys go to all different houses and stuff.
Andrew Zimmerman said this: if the Jones Act is bypassed, because of Canada being closed, I don't think that's going to happen. Look how slow
Well,
Congress.
I think
And see, here's the other deal. You know, all of the programs they're going to going to help is have to be approved by the Senate, and the Senate closed down for the weekend. So now we got to wait for the Senate to come back. So it's not going to go in effect. The president's going to sign it. He already said it. But unless the Senate shows up to work again, nothing is going to happen.
One of the members, and I don't know who said that the futures are down. Mark, are you talking about Dow futures? Yeah, Dow futures are down for tomorrow.
Even so, the Fed announced today going back to zero interest rate.
I saw that. Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, it ain't gonna get better. It's not gonna get better. I remember after September 11th, Dirk. You remember what the Dow was after September 11th?
It wasn't as bad as this.
It was. That was much worse. It was 7,000. That's what the Dow went down to after September 11th.
Yeah, but from what? I mean, it wasn't about 9,000 or something.
I think it was. That's a good question. I think it was 13,000.
Oh, less than that. So this is the worst in 20-some years. So they surpassed 9/11 big time.
Yeah, this is bad. Bad news. Well, guys, we all have our health, and we have.
Like my wife said, we lost.
Mark,
we lost somebody. we had a trip to Dublin, which we had to cancel, and the way it looks right now, it doesn't look like we're going to get any money back because my travel agent, I didn't check on it, didn't insure the trip. So that's about $7,000.
You won't get even if they cancel. They canceled it, or did you cancel?
No, I canceled. But the thing is, Charles, I got to rebook a trip I have to fly by July because I booked it early last year. But that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is what my wife said. She said, look, it's just money. We have paid for it a long time ago. Our health is more important than trying to get the money back. And so even so it hurts. I'm not trying to show off or anything else. It could have been $100. But, it's true. If you got your health and you can kind of be careful that you don't get sick, etc., money, if you don't have your life, they still don't have any trailers behind the hearse. So, that money doesn't make any darn difference. So
that's true.
I'd rather take a bath on that and be healthy than fighting for it. And, it is what it is, unfortunately. But, can't change the world. Even so, I tried to get a credit from my insurance, which I paid over $1,000 for my trip on the 5th of April out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I checked with paid like $1,100 for the insurance because I checked with them. Said since it's cancer, he said, well, sorry about that. We can't transfer that to another one.
You got to pay it again. No refund.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even claim any money. I just wanted to transfer.
Yeah.
I just wanted to transfer to a cruise, which I already have booked for November. But they said no. It's for this particular cruise, regardless of why. Even if you don't pay, forget it.
Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to Dirk. While we've been talking, I've been showing the view from the balcony of a beautiful sunset. And I'm looking forward to seeing this again in the near future after all this is cleared up. Assuming we all get through this unscathed. So I want to wish everyone safety and security, health and happiness as we navigate this tumultuous time in United States history. Unprecedented, really. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime.
Yeah, somebody said there are going to be massive lawsuits, but the problem is those lawsuits going to be combined lawsuits and take years to be settled. And by the time they get settled, you may get $4.50 or $6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be single.
Yeah, the class act,
lawsuits.
like a class
they're
action.
Going to be class action lawsuits.
Yeah.
And
you're gonna
I
get
had a
nothing.
few.
The
I had
only
a few
people who
in the
make money in
past.
the class action lawsuits are the attorneys.
So I had a few before, and I just gave it up because it was worth it $9.80 or whatever. So you just forget about it. Like you said, it's the lawyers, the attorneys that make the big
Yeah.
bucks.
I'll take the $9.80, Dirk. Come on.
$9.80.
I know. I'll
Not
take it.
$980.
I could buy a sandwich.
Joshua said the insurance company, and the word of heard, and they would be for the full amount, then add lawyer fees.
Oh, good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey Joshua, that's a good try. The full amount
That's
of
right.
lawyer fees, that ain't happening on
That's why you get your $9.13.
a class action suit.
Oh my goodness,
Lawyers
this is
get
not
burned.
good. Stock futures, Mark Sr. pointing out the Dow futures. I tried doing searches for the Dow futures just a little while ago, and I couldn't find it. I thought it was like a purposeful thing that they weren't showing it, but right now, yeah, he's right. The Dow futures is showing down 1,000 points.
Yep.
For
Another
for the
thing
open.
is
Gold and silver
Chuck-
are up.
Hey Chuck, of course. Chuck,
Mhm.
Joshua also said that the federal government declared the emergency. They stopped the cruise. That's why they're going to have to pay. The only thing that's going could happen is if the same thing has happened before, where they bailed out the banks, is a bailout by the
cruise
government.
industry. I'd be
For the
surprised.
cruise and airline industry, they're hit just as bad.
The only
But so are the
if there
hotel
is
industry.
if there is no bailout and the stock goes to zero, that means Norwegian Cruise Line is essentially a private company, right?
No,
They can't go private, like Dell Computers did that. They went private.
they have their reserve is.
I saw
I don't
that
know.
has 600. They
It's
just got
nothing.
600 million.
Yeah,
They
which is nothing.
refinanced the Epic and got $600
right.
million dollars. I saw that. Yeah, in equity, in cash, just to get them through this.
Joshua, you have a degree with pre-law track. That's pretty good. My wife's a federal judge.
All
Did I
right,
say
this has
that?
been interesting times. And if any significant news comes out, folks, you can count on us to broadcast right to the page. In the meantime, stay safe. Wash your hands. 20 seconds is the rule. Don't put your fingers in your eyes, your mouth, your nose, wherever. Stay safe. Wear protective equipment where necessary. And I will have to send a special thank you out to our healthcare workers and our teachers who so bravely have to go into the front line and who went into the front line last week. I wish you all the best. Make sure you wear your personal protective equipment and follow the rules as necessary by your healthcare institution. I wish you all a great week, and we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the page. If I see anything interesting in the harbor, I'm happy to broadcast it. I like doing it. I'm going to walk down and see if I could take a look at the Bliss at some point tomorrow. I may go live. But otherwise, stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. Wish you all the best during these difficult times. And we'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, here on Cruise Mojo.
And be nice with your comments on our website.
Be nice with your comments. Don't get banned, folks. We like everybody out there. We don't want to see you get banned from the page. So abide by the rules. And we'll see you next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, folks. Enjoy the week, and we'll see you soon, and stay safe. Thank you.
And no trolling.
No trolling. No trolls allowed. Don't feed the trolls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Joshua, you got 9 entries. That's great. Thanks for your comments. We appreciate it.